it's time for episode 3 of painting an icon of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And we have done the outline and shading, and we have done the face and hands, and now it's time to paint the clothing. So, I have mixed 2 little dishes of paint. One is titanium white, the other is ultramarine blue. And here, using a squirrel brush, I'm painting the ultramarine blue onto the veil and habit of Mother Teresa. It's going on as pure ultramarine, which is something I very, very rarely do because it is so bright, but the brightness of this blue works well on this icon. I normally knock it back with a burnt umber or something like that because it's usually just too bright and blingy for what I'm doing, but it just works very well. The ultramarine gives quite a good coverage, although it does need 2, sometimes 3 coats. Of course, this is all happening at 4 times normal speed. I've also edited out a lot of the painting time because this did take a lot of time and was really quite fiddly. You may notice I'm leaning my hand against a bit of dowel which I have attached with my carabiner onto an eye hook at the top of the easel so that I can steady my hand without putting my hand onto the panel. Now to put some white onto the veil and the rest of the clothing, and this is the titanium white, and I'm using a Kolinsky broad brush. And I'm going back to doing a bit of the blue that I had forgotten to do, and to spend some time thinking about how to do this habit, this garment and veil, because it hasn't quite worked the way that I had hoped. I'm now going over all the shading part with yellow ochre and a tiny bit of the black, but more yellow this time. There's also the titanium white in it so that it's not too dark, but just getting a yellow tinge into the shading. I've actually done this, I've done many white garments, but never this way, and I'm not sure that I'll do it this way again. In the end it works out okay, but I actually struggled with this quite a bit to work out how to get this very white garment, this vast expanse of white garment, looking real. And I've gone even darker now to do some shading, and it's a bit of an irony. Normally at this point the darkest bits would be well and truly in place, and I would be doing this sort of very delicate and subtle highlighting with titanium white. Here I'm using the dark and very delicately putting in shading. Very dry brush, getting a lot of blending happening. Just going back over to put in more white, to make the white bits whiter than white.